Morning. I did not do a sound check. Morning. Timestamp. August 8th, 2025. What some of the astrologers are calling Lionsgate. Not the film production company, different. About 4:30. Yeah, it's supposed to be a major portal type thing. I don't know. I don't know. I follow some of it I'm just like, oh. Went to bed early, went to bed like 9 p.m. Scrappy's staring at me. May need to do that in a minute. We're supposed to try and get the farm cat sick call this morning. You have to be there between 7 and 9 a.m. for that. So Pix is supposed to be going to bed early as well. So we're going to try and wrangle a semi-feral cat. Finally get him into the vet and get his paw looked at and whatnot. Don't know what was done to him. He's got an eye that's kind of weird and a paw that, I don't know, it's... I'll let you see the after pictures. I'm hoping they don't have to, like, amputate the top part of his arm or whatnot. I think that's why he's skittish around people. We think somebody hurt him. At the same time, we've been getting pretty close to him and kind of touching him without losing parts of our own. This is going to sound sarcastic, and it's not. I think we're going to be friends. Because I think there's a certain level of trust at this point. But morning. Oh, man. I'm still waking up. Went to bed and there was some John Purby going on. Woke up to some William Hartnell. I don't recall ever seeing this particular First Doctor episode. It looked like they were miniaturized or trapped in like the inner workings of a clock or something. It was all very Honey, I Shrank the Doctor kind of vibe. Tiny has announced that they may be getting sick. Like hot, cold, whatnot. A little body ache, a little weakness. It's real possible. We just haven't been around people. So it's kind of, weird you pick that up. And I know you can get sick anyway. Plus, actually, the amount of crap that we've got here that we might be breathing in. You know what? I withdraw my question. It's part of the reason I've got 2 air purifiers going at all times now. It's not just the COPD for me, it's because I know we might be fighting some... It's past the first 7 seconds, so I can... If you pick your F's carefully, it still tickles me. But, I know some of the shit we might be breathing in around here. It's not quite an F-bomb, so it's probably... Would that be moderate or strong? Still giggling over the content creator video I watched yesterday. Yeah, hearing somebody from the UK tell you to pick your F's carefully Carlin would have had a field day with that video. Here's the top 5 words you can't say on YouTube. And doing some Harry and David vanilla cream brulee this morning. It's one of the go-tos. It's comfort coffee, you know. And I like vanilla flavored things. Full disclosure. But in honor of the events of the day, we're going to use Sylvester Mug. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the stuff. That's the stuff right there. But I'm still kind of waking up because, yeah, there were a few. There was a bug hunt before bed. Killed 6 or 7. The 2 running across my pillow are what tipped me off that, yeah, it's a good idea. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, 2.5 years ago, if you had told me that this would be my reality right now, I would have laughed at you. Okay, so here's the story. Your mom's dead. Your dad's in a home. You basically put him there. You became his guardian because the dementia got out of control. The house is infested with bed bugs. Part of it's collapsing. And you and your daughter have camped out there and are trying to de-hoard the place. Ready, go. You know, it's like prepping for a scene or a sketch or something. What? What? Can we go back to... The hell are you talking about, boy? Jiminy. He takes care of all my rings. And my hair bands. Sure. Very handy, really. Always like Joni. Actually, that's a fun thing to talk about. Accoutrement beside. These are from Lewis Marks. It's a plastic company. Big deal. They made army men and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the older army men are by them. But in the 70s, they did Disney figures. This guy's probably about 5 inches tall. I forget how many there were. There were 8 or a dozen, and they come in like solid green, solid orange, solid blue, solid pink. But they did, you know, Mickey, Minnie, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell. I actually just sold, I had a Peter Pan and a Tinkerbell in blue. I just sold them on eBay not too long ago. But a bunch of different Disney characters. And they made these from like 74 to 76 or something like that, several years in the 70s. They're typically worth $4 or $5. If they're in really great shape, you might get 10 or more, maybe 20 even, if it's one of the more sought after like characters and colors. Because you can get a Jiminy Cricket in pink, orange. I wanted him in green because to me it was the most appropriate. But I will de-ring it just for you. It's kind of cool. And if you like it, you can press like on the video or give it a little whistle or whatever you want. Yeah, I went there. But yeah, I've got a Pluto and a Goofy and a couple other like favorites. I like the dogs. A couple other characters, but I've sold a bunch of the other ones. I know I got my girl. She's got a Tinkerbell, and I think she has a Dopey. They didn't do all the dwarves, but they did Dopey. He might be the only one they did. I'm trying to think if they did a Grumpy or not. I know they did a Dopey. Yeah, my wife and I are very much in love, and also polar opposites when it comes to a lot of things. If this is any indication. Her favorite dwarves are Grumpy and Dopey. Mine are Doc and Happy. I don't know that there's more polar opposite. Dopey, Doc, Grumpy, Happy. But she's half empty kind of girl and a half full kind of guy. Together we're a full cup, and it just works. "29 years. Going on 30. Holy cats. Sylvester, you've been ordained. But yeah. Deal with Janus. Try and get him worked out. And then prep for garage sale as best we can. It's actually 5, 3. I wanted to... Yeah, that's what I'm hoping doesn't happen, thanks. Because the Weather Channel only does like a little bit in advance. It's my Ghoulia Yelps impression there. Hope you liked it. So, today it is supposed to be okay, and then around noon the percentage starts going up, and late afternoon, early evening, it looks wet. So damn wet. Big fan of Time Bandits. Grew up watching that movie a lot. So much fun. And then Saturday, which is the day in question, more of the same. Afternoon looks wet. Extraordinarily wet all the way through the evening. Morning could be okay. Welcome to Florida. But yeah, up through noon tomorrow it looks like it's going to be okay, and then flip a quarter. So we may get rained out, I don't know. We're willing to try Saturday and Sunday. Just start getting some of the stuff out of here. It's crazy. Trying to fill you in on all the little things here and there. Oh, Tiny, who is a skeptic. And that's fine. If you're a skeptic too, that's fine. Regarding that kind of stuff, because making it sound dramatic just because it's fun that way. I've seen things. But I have. A lot. Tiny has heard a woman's voice a few times here. And other than me and Tiny, on the regular, there's nobody here. Jinx meows, Hex chirps, and the dogs bark and whine and all that, but has heard human voice, female. And the other day, I went back and looked at the video, And I know me, and I can tell that I was legitimately like, "Earl." Um, I heard I was doing my recording in the morning or something, and I legitimately heard a female voice from the living room say my name. I heard Mark. I prefer Marcus. But, you know, not everybody's going to respect that. And that's okay. And there are certain people out there in my life that probably wouldn't call me that anyway. They would call me Mark because that's what they named me. If you take my meaning. I don't know. Still figuring it out. I did do some digging though because I was curious. Because Gryffindor 3, Ravenclaw 1. The former owners of the place before my parents bought it in 2012. They moved to Nokomis, Florida, and it was an older couple about my parents' age. And the dude died in 2016. The woman is still alive. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Unless he was really attached to the place and had an unusually high voice. You know, and I know there's the Mitch Agassi's of the world and whatnot, but it was a woman. It was a woman. I don't know. There are a few women in my life who have passed. And it could be completely random. And I don't know. I don't know. I know what I heard. But I don't know. Tiny made EVP attempt in the back bedroom, which impressed me because I was like, okay, you want to go for it? Okay, cool. Showed Tiny how to use the micro recorder, which is actually what I use as a block to make sure my phone doesn't go whoop while I'm doing a recording in the morning. You are prepped against a jar of lollipops and held in place by my micro recorder, my EVP recorder. That's my fancy setup here. I'm very high tech. Like top shelf, high tech. Yeah, this guy. Oh. Yeah, I distinctly heard my name. Which, from that aspect, means it is aware and, in at least some respect, interacting or attempting to interact. And these are significant things to check off the list. You know what I mean? It's not like a shadow. Residual. It is aware of surroundings, not. Because we had at George, we had a residual there. We had a few things there, frankly. But we had a residual that we called Mr. Walker because you would see him out of the corner of your eye in the kitchen, outside, walking up the little, like, sidewalky thing to the front door. You'd just see, it was like blue, like Dickies, like, you know, factory worker kind of pants and like black boots. You would see just a person wearing that walking to the front door. Not like all day long, but a few times a week, 3 in the afternoon, 5 in the afternoon, somebody's coming home from work, kind of, and you'd know that you saw someone, you're doing dishes and someone's going to the door. You can see them out of the corner of your eye. And you go to the door, and in the words of Cake, you're never there. I love that song. But years and years and years, and you always fall for it. This is the thing. You're always like, maybe this is the time there's a real person. Nope, Mr. Walker. Okay. Close the door. Okay. You got me. But never like rang the bell, never jiggled the doorknob, whatnot. It was just the act of like walking that 10 feet up the driveway. Or up the little sidewalk. He even got one of our kids one time. They were in the fridge in the kitchen, and they were like, "Mom, Dad, somebody's coming to the door." That's how we know we're not making this shit up. And we're like, "There's no one here. I saw a dude walk into the front door." "What do you mean a dude?" "Oh, they were wearing like work pants. I just saw them out of the corner of my eye." "That was Mr. Walker." "Well, I don't believe in that kind of thing." Apparently you do now. Anyway. Yeah, when they start saying your name to you, they're aware. They're aware. But not all of them are, Sometimes they just go through the motions of their daily activity. And I don't know if it's actually them stuck in a loop, or if it's like a phantom image in a photograph. Old school, you might get a bit of an image from the picture before bleeding onto the picture that you're looking at. Like a shadow. That's why I call them shadows a lot of the time. Like a shadow of an event that happened on a regular basis. It happens so often, it's like the groove in a record, it's almost burned into place. It's not actually happening, it's just a reflection of it. Because it did happen over and over and over. I don't know. There's a lot of things I think we don't understand. Because things can exist without us understanding that they exist. And there's a whole lot of science we discover every day that the answer's been there the whole time. It was us chasing it. You know what I mean? Ooh, that reminds me. I saw something, apparently at the, not sure if it was University of Kyoto, but out of Kyoto they are attempting to market a Parkinson's cure. Which is cool. It's cool. Apparently, I'm not making this up, this isn't a joke. Michael J. Fox, Muhammad Ali and some of the scientists are preparing to speak to the Senate to try and get them to, hey, look, a cure for something. Meanwhile, our government is stopping a lot of research programs and whatnot. We're so backwards right now. But Kyoto, Parkinson's, apparently went through the human trials, went really well, and in most of the patients, and I'm paraphrasing, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, I'm not trying to spread misinformation. God knows there's enough of that. Apparently, in many cases, it halted the development, and in others, it reversed it. So, that's promising. And because I am concerned about the COPD, the emphysema, and all that. Most of the research is based on stem cells. And by the way, you don't have to kill babies to do the stem cell thing. They a lot of time use the umbilical and stuff like that. There's not murder going on. There are other ways to procure that. I looked into a lot of that stuff because there's a lot of snake oil out there regarding lung disease. But I think stem cells are going to be the answer. Because they're not baby cells, but they are baby cells that are like blank slates. And they may be able to be programmed to a degree. You've got just a blank canvas of a cell that wants to become something. It's almost like a non-artificial nanite. If you're big on the Wesley Crusher stuff, it wants to become a human cell. So if we can teach it, hey, be this kind of a cell for the lung, it may be able to replicate it and rebuild, regrow. We might be able to regrow complete organs that way. I mean, we're not there yet. But I grew up on sci-fi, and I can see where we are, and I can see the practical application of where we could learn to be in a year, 2 years, 10 years. And I think we could. I think that might be one of the answers we've been looking for. And it's as old as childbirth. The answers are all out there. That's part of the big game. The answers are all out there. It's just us not being ignorant and finding them. And once we found it, quit trying to make so big a profit on it that it's okay killing people if you don't get paid. Lost some people to the opioid BS, so I'm a little untrusting of big pharma, because they were intentionally getting people hooked, knowing that maybe they're not good for you. And one in particular, she wasn't a junkie. She was recovering from surgery and got hooked on this stuff. Painkiller, you know. So, profit over people. Probably the wrong approach. Anyway, I don't want to bring your room down. Oh yeah, that was actually something I wanted to show you. I know I already showed you this, but one of the ways, I don't know if you can see it or not, one of the ways you can tell if it's a legit thing or not is on the feet. There's usually circles, and they'll say Walt Disney Productions, and the other one will say like Lewis Marks. And it'll have a Roman numeral, which is the date, the year. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. So yeah, they did them throughout the 70s. I kept thinking it was 74 to 76, but I also kept thinking that was not the complete window. This one's from 71, apparently. Because I can read Roman numerals. But yeah, these were kind of a big thing in the 70s. I mean, they've obviously fallen out of favor, so to speak. But there's still collectors that love them. I know a guy that's trying to get an orange one of every character. And I want to say there's like 12 or 16. They didn't do every Disney character, but there's, and you can look it up online, I'm sure. There's like 12 or 16 different ones they did do. But I got my Jimmy over here. He is my ring bearer. No, I'm not getting married. Already done that twice. Pretty happy with the last results. Anyway, I'm going to call it here. Make it a great day.